Good morning. What a beautiful day. Happy Tuesday. I hope everything's going well for you. Rita Hickman, body mind expert, shiatsu massage therapist, narcissist expert. And today we're talking about being okay with your inner narcissist. So this morning, mornings are a really great time for me because it's a time when I feel more open and vulnerable. And it used to be the worst time of my life because I was so open and vulnerable. I felt like a raw nerve when I woke up. I felt like almost rageful. As soon as my consciousness would flip from, dreamy and sleepy into here we are, I was a miserable, miserable person. It would take me until like noon to feel better every day. Now, this was based on a lot of different things. It was based on being dehydrated because I'd never really been developed the habit of making sure I stayed hydrated. So I was constantly chronically dehydrated. My blood sugar was all over the place because I was eating a lot of carbs late at night and not eating as much during the day. I wouldn't eat until noon, because I didn't feel well. I wasn't getting any movement. And so my body always felt heavy and bloated and vulnerable, and my heart always hurt. My husband would even lay on the couch every day, not on the couch, on the bed every day with his head near my feet as I would wake up. A really sweet, sweet gesture. And I would look at him and just be so angry. I wouldn't express it to him. I wasn't like that. But I'd feel it and I'd think it and I'd think, oh, this is not how I want to be. This is not who I want to be. I don't want to show up in the world this way. And I would show up, very rigid and inflexible because I was holding myself under so much control. Now, this might be happening to you. You might feel in many areas of your life, your body feels like it's out of control, like it's a raw nerve, like it doesn't take anything for you to trigger, like you can't see yourself clearly and you're just reacting to everything, trying to keep all the balls juggled, trying to keep your little duck feet, swimming underwater while you look calm and cool on the surface. Now, I had this difference between my outer world and my inner world is because I came from a world with some trauma in it, with some drama when I was a kid. And because of that, I had all of these triggers, all of these trauma triggers in my brain and my body. And it didn't take much to trigger them. It could be footsteps, it could be a random thought, it could be um, blood sugar was low, it could be that I didn't go for a walk the day before, it could be anything that reminded me that I was vulnerable and scared. I was locked in a place of fight or flight almost all the time because physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was overwhelmed. But I also learned that you can't act out. You can't demonstrate how crazy you feel. You need to keep it all under wraps, especially if you're a small female and you're not taught to to be authentic. You're not taught to be in alignment with yourself. You're taught that you're supposed to sacrifice and suffer. You're supposed to feel broken in two. You're supposed to feel overwhelmed because everybody feels that way. That's the way everybody feels. So you just need to suck it up and deal with it. But you know what? That's not true. That's the lie that keeps us trapped in these narcissistic states of mind. Now, everybody's got a narcissist in them. It's that survival piece, it's that primal part of you that feels like there's no way out and you have to protect yourself at all costs. And we all have that. And we all deal with it differently. I would deal with it by hiding a lot of things. I dealt with it by not being able to be honest about who I was and what I needed and what I felt because I was so scared of the repercussions, because I'd never tested it to see what would happen if I wasn't perfect. What would happen if I didn't look like I knew what I was doing all the time? What would happen if I asked for what I needed? And I would try. And, you get shot down by so many people. You get shot down by people who say, no, you can't do that, or no, that's a bad idea, or no, what are you thinking? We're surrounded by people who are in their narcissistic states of mind. When they're thinking about themselves, because they are in a fight or flight place too. So it's a bunch of people who are walking around feeling traumatized all the time, waiting for these landmines inside of their brain to go off that make them feel sane or not sane. It's a very helpless feeling. And that's how a lot of people are walking around. This whole zombie apocalypse thing, that were movies and television shows, that's kind of what's happening. People are disconnected from their true self, from a deeper version of who they are. And they're trapped in these triggers of fight or flight all the time. That's your narcissist. Your narcissist is the part of you that is so afraid, so vulnerable, feels so helpless that you can only try to barely hold on to your sanity with the end of your fingernails. So I spent some time this morning working through some stuff because it's a great time. It's a great time for healing work when you use it right. These days, I make sure my body gets the nutrition it needs, that I get the support I need, that I have the connections and friendships that I need. So finally, I can take a look at these things and start releasing them. And when you allow yourself to look at some of the things in your past, maybe when you were a kid, maybe when you were helpless, maybe when you felt that you were always going to be taken by surprise, these things we compartmentalize. We put in ourselves, in our body, in our nervous system, and shut down around them a little bit. And we put them away on a shelf. The problem is these thoughts and feelings and emotions, when we felt helpless and out of control, they're still controlling us. And you know they are. It's those times when someone says the one thing and you think, wow, they're really an idiot. Or someone cuts you off in traffic and you get angry. Or someone disrespects what you have to say. And so you just shut down and walk away. You say, I don't want anything to do with this person. So that can be in a fight or flight narcissistic state, that stressed out state. So how do you get out of that? How do you flip out of it? You remind yourself that this is a biological issue that you're working with, and you use one of the tools that will make you feel better. When I was in that place, when I didn't know what to do and I felt helpless, I thought I was trapped in it. I didn't have any good tools. I thought I had to suffer and sacrifice, and there was nothing I could do. And I was doomed to wake up every morning feeling miserable and out of control and hating my life, and then trying to be a nice person or be a perfect person and not make any mistakes and look like I'm smart and funny and interesting and cool and do all of that. And that just didn't work very well. It doesn't work to be in that space. But there are many, many things that you can do that flip you out of fight or flight. And when you do them, when you purposely flip yourself out of fight or flight, you're able to finally process those things that you put up on the shelf and you said, I'm locking the box and I'm putting it up there, never to look at it ever again. The problem is it comes to visit. And you'd rather have it come visit on your terms than have it come visit on somebody else's terms. So it's time. It's time to start opening those boxes and working through those things. Do it in your own way. Do it in your own space, but give yourself that space. Give yourself the space to unpack those boxes. Find people that can help you. Find groups of people that are healthy that can help you. Find one on one that can help you, because I know how emotionally isolated you feel. I know how cut off from everybody you feel. And you used to have goals and dreams, or maybe you still have goals and dreams, but you feel like you've got an arm and a leg tied behind your back and you just can't even make a one step forward. I get that. You don't have to stay here. You don't have to be stuck. There's ways to get those boxes open and the stuff out of the box and off your system so you stop getting sick, you stop triggering, you stop reacting, and you can walk up to any tense situation and be calm and centered, because you are the one who is in control. You are the one who knows how to not be triggered. You're the one who knows how to stand up for yourself and do it in a calm, respectful, kind way. You're the one who knows how to do this. So, if you need some help, go to my page, inspiremassage.com. Find the resources which are there. Start moving in the right direction. Start loving yourself and respecting yourself, because you don't have to be like this anymore. And you don't have to do it in such a way that's so angry or aggressive or hurtful. There's a much gentler way, which works much, much, much better than the way you've been trying to do it all on your own since you were a kid, without the right tools, without the right information.